a labor dispute between City Hall and New Orleans firefighters. I'll have more on that coming up.
The coronavirus death toll may be dropping, but the disease is still affecting local residents.
And Mississippi floodwaters have not reached the levels they were predicted to, but the waters are moving into Louisiana. That's coming up on PAC News. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm JC Canicosa.
And I'm Amy No. You're watching PAC News for Tuesday, February 18th. New Orleans firefighters propose a list of changes that could help solve the department's staffing issues. Andres Fuentes is live with the latest on the discourse between the firefighters and city officials. Andres?
Good afternoon, JC and Amy. I'm out here right now in front of the fire station, and I just want to let you know what has been going on with the City Hall and the New Orleans Fire Department. 1/3 of the fire department did call in sick this Saturday, but there might be some hope in proposed changes coming up. So let me break it down real quick, just to recap. It all started last week when the Firefighter Association urged members not to work voluntary overtime hours due to the department's understaffing issues and hard workloads. Fire Superintendent Tim McConnell responded by canceling vacation time for firefighters. This led to a dangerously low number of firefighters calling in sick this past Saturday. The fire department says the move was extortion and a planned sick out. Union reps say it wasn't planned, but that firefighters in New Orleans area are tired and need rest. The union also proposed a number of items to help solve the staffing issue. Let's take a look. The union says these changes could help recruit and retain firefighters in New Orleans. First, they want a committee to work on legislation to change their retirement system. Second, they want rule changes to deal with how overtime hours are handled and paid out. Third, they call for a transparent promotional system within the department. Here's what the association president, Aaron Mishler, said at yesterday's press conference.
To the politicians and bureaucrats out there and the mayor herself, call. I'm ready to sit down. We've been ready to sit down. We can end this now.
Now, as of right now, the city and the superintendent are both very committed to fixing this issue as soon as possible. But if you do have any plans to head out to the carnival parades this weekend, it's going to be a big weekend for that. Union reps are saying, firefighters, please report to your scheduled duties. For now, I'm Andres Fuentes, PAC News.
Thanks for the updates, Andres. And now we have Tess Rowland live with an update on the spreading coronavirus.
Amid global anxiety about the spread of the new coronavirus, tens of millions of ethnic Chinese living outside China and Taiwan are particularly uneasy. Time magazine reports more than 800 Americans are quarantined right now for the disease. And companies like Norwegian Cruise Line are making strict restrictions in order to protect and prevent the spread of the disease by prohibiting passengers with passports from China, Hong Kong, or Macau from boarding ships. While these measures can be said to be proactive, are they promoting a racial phobia surrounding the disease? An Asian student at Tulane tells me her experiences with racial phobia.
Some of the comments like, oh, it's China's problem, or like, who cares, or like all these jokes about people aren't really taking it seriously have been really offensive to me, specifically because my mom has been in China for the past month.
It should be done cautiously and judiciously. This sounds a little bit extreme to me. I think we have to be very careful not to overly profile groups of people.
As Louisiana health officials continue to monitor the state for coronavirus, Dr. Alexander Ballou with the Louisiana Department of Health says Mardi Gras goers have a higher chance to contract the flu on the parade route. But the good news is you can protect yourself from both the same way. Health officials encourage parade goers to get a flu shot before celebrating, practice good hygiene, and wash hands regularly. They also say to avoid contact with sick people, and if you feel sick, stop partying and go home to keep others safe.
It's the one place during Mardi Gras you want to avoid. The Mardi Gras booking bus, located in the French Quarter, is a system with the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office, New Orleans Police Department, and Louisiana State Troopers to help with safety procedures. It takes 30 minutes to an hour to usually book someone, but with the booking bus, it should only take a couple of minutes. This allows officers to get right back on the streets to help with parades. On the bus, suspects are photographed, fingerprinted, and processed. Officers can also check the criminal histories of suspects.
This long-standing partnership demonstrates that we're all working together toward a common goal, keeping our city safe for residents and our many, many visitors.
The bus will be in service throughout carnival season.
The Boy Scouts of America filed for bankruptcy today in hopes of keeping the organization going in the wake of hundreds of sexual abuse lawsuits and thousands of allegations. The Delaware filing could set off one of the most complex bankruptcy cases in U.S. history. The lawsuits will be put on a temporary hold, but the organization could eventually be forced to sell off some of their property holdings in order to compensate victims. Many lawsuits are coming in light now due to changes of statute of limitation laws, as most of the cases in question date back to the 60s, 70s, and 80s. The 110-year-old organization is claiming that the problem of sexual assault is not a current one due to new policies and practices. Meanwhile, the insurance company is arguing that the organization knew about the pattern of abuse and kept it quiet. If the lawsuits go forward without the insurance coverage, the organization will have to pay all alleged victims from their own funds.
After years of signs for the Tom Benson Jesuit Center looming in the center of Loyola's campus, the university has finally decided on a location and timeline for the new building. Reporter Rose Wagner tells us what you need to know about the newest addition to Loyola's campus.
It has been a decade since Tom and Gail Benson donated $8 million for Loyola to create a Jesuit center on campus, and plans for the building's construction are finally in the works. The university is currently searching for architects for the Tom Benson Jesuit Center, with the hopes that it will be open to the community in January 2021. Father Justin Daffron says the center will be more than just the new home for the Ignatius Chapel, currently housed in Bow Bay Hall.
It's more an opportunity to look at how are we going to grow spiritually as a community, as opposed to just a physical space. And so we'll be inviting consultation with different student groups for ideas about where we might go.
The new location for the Benson Center and Ignatius Chapel is right here by Monroe Hall and the large oak tree. Father Daffron promises that the oak tree will remain intact and that the location change is so that there will be an unobstructed view across Loyola's campus.
There are a number of variables, one being a change in the size of the facility. Originally, we had about a 30,000 square foot facility that we were planning for, and we determined that we actually only need about a 7,000 square foot facility.
Senior Ben Beningo was assigned as the student representative to the project, and he says seeing Loyola and community members dedicate a new space to the future of the Catholic faith has inspired him.
I would say it's pretty powerful, I guess, in a way.
But Beningo and Daffron say the university is focused on finding ways to promote inclusivity of students and different faiths within what is a definitively Catholic space.
We're trying to balance both, and so to me that's exciting because the kind of conversation that we've already had illustrates that we're the type of community that can come together. And so as we continue to dialogue, I think that we'll realize the ideas that execute on a really exciting vision.
Rose Wagner, PAC News.
Father Daffron says that as of right now, there are no plans for the future of the space that will be left empty when the Ignatius Chapel moves from Bow Bay Hall to the new Benson Center.
A popular adult beverage hits its lowest prices in years, and today is the day to celebrate.
And a state of emergency has been declared in Mississippi due to flooding, and the waters are threatening some Louisiana areas.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
The leading presidential candidates will have to make room for a newcomer in tomorrow's debate, as multi-billionaire and former New York City Mayor Mike Bloomberg makes the cut into being his the first debate of the campaign. Bloomberg qualified for the Las Vegas debate after flooding TV airwaves with hundreds of millions of dollars worth of ads. Officials say Bloomberg now sits in second place with 19% of the vote, only behind Senator Bernie Sanders. The poll also has Vice President Joe Biden sitting at third, while Elizabeth Warren, Amy Klobuchar, and Pete Buttigieg round out the list. We have some time before the Louisiana primaries, and voters head to the polls on April 4th. Here are some important dates to remember. You have to until March 4th to register to vote, but this is by mail or in person. You can register online by March 14th. You have to request an absentee ballot by March 31st and send it in by April 3rd. Early voting starts on March 21st.
Today is National Drink Wine Day and a chance to select your favorite vintage and sip up. The state of the wine industry, however, is going through a shakeup of its prices.
A time to toast for wine lovers. Happy birthday, happy birthday. The prices of wine are the lowest in the past 5 years.
Lodi's such a great value anyway, we're happy for them to go down.
The State of Wine Industry report says wine prices could even be the lowest in the past 20 years because in part of a surplus of grapes.
I feel like it'll bring a lot of, tourists.
Priscilla Kumar is celebrating her birthday with friends and with wine. She says the lower prices are welcome.
That's always good news to us. Lower prices in alcohol, yeah.
But the San Joaquin County Farm Bureau says that's not good news for everyone, especially grape growers.
So they just cut their losses.
In fact, the San Joaquin County Farm Bureau says growers are choosing to leave grapes on the vine because it would cost more to produce.
Wine grapes being left in the field, and that's pretty sad. That's a lot of money that were left out. Looked like each one of those bundles of grapes hanging in those vines looked like dollar signs to me, because that's really what it meant to those landowners.
The wine industry report also says millennials don't drink as much wine, but the report says with lower prices, that may change.
Now with the lower prices,
it'll be good for them.
If the price of Lodi's Zinfandel goes down, we're buying.
Those in the wine industry hope the lower prices will help them in the long run, as millennials could start buying more wine at cheaper prices.
With carnival season in full swing, crews are getting ready for their special throws for their big days. The Mystic crew of Iris decorate sunglasses as their special throw. This comes after the crew captain saw big crews like Muses and Nix find what kind of throws work for them.
Iris sunglasses are a coveted throw along the route, but the sunglasses fit us better because of the fact that we're a day parade.
The crew gives its namesake, Iris, the goddess of rainbows and messenger to the gods, credit for never having to cancel the parade due to inclement weather in its history. They roll on Uptown Road every Saturday before Mardi Gras.
And the meat of Mardi Gras is here. Tomorrow, the crew of Nix rolls at 7 after Druid's Uptown, and on Thursday, Muses hits the street at 6:30. And Friday, Morpheus follows Hermes and Etat. Saturday, Iris rolls at 11 a.m., followed by Tux at noon. Supercrew Endymion rolls through Mid-City around 4:15. And on Sunday, Totes starts at noon and Bacchus rolls at 5:15. On Lundi Gras, Proteus begins at 5:15, followed by Orpheus at 6. And Mardi Gras Day begins with Zulu at 8 a.m., followed by Rex at 10.
Speaking of parades, one crew is making it their mission to keep Mardi Gras clean.
We'll introduce you to the Trash Formers coming up.
Back to you, Lester.
Thanks, Taylor. And in our final story of the night,
The Maroon has been ranked as one of the top student newspapers in the nation by the Princeton Review.
Mississippi residents breathe a sigh of relief as Governor Tate Reeves announces the Pearl River crest isn't as high as a projected 38 feet. Flooding in central Mississippi is still widespread, causing many roadways to close. Hundreds of homes have suffered flood damage and many residents evacuated. But Louisiana could see effects from the Pearl River levels still. The National Weather Service forecasts the Pearl River will crest at near record levels this weekend at points near Bogalusa. The river is expected to peak at 22.5 feet next Tuesday. This would be the highest it's risen since the March flood of 2016 when it crested at 22.57 feet.
We won't need to worry about flooding in our area, but rain chances do get higher as the week goes on. Today, we have some fog, so be careful while you're driving. Chances of rain today are at 50% with highs of 77. But those temps will drop off and those rain chances get higher later in the week. Wednesday, 40% chance in fog, and Thursday, that's when temperatures drop. The high will only get to 58, and there's an 80% chance of rain this Thursday. So you'll want to get those warm jackets if you have them for the Muses Parade, rain gear, maybe even some rain boots. It's usually a little muddy out there on the parade route, but it won't stick around all weekend with highs in the 60s and 70s this weekend. Something to look forward to as you head out to the parades. You'll only need a light jacket.
I cannot wait for Mardi Gras. It's one of my favorite times of year. I'm not super thrilled about the weather though, Lily.
I know, but hopefully for Mardi Gras Day, it'll hold off until Fat Tuesday, sunshine all the way, but guess we'll just have to see.
And hey, a little mud isn't going to ruin the parade for me anyway.
No, and they always say, don't wear your nice shoes to the parades. Wear your rain boots, wear something that you can get dirty.
Parade shoes, if you will.
Exactly.
Thanks so much, Lily. Saints quarterback Drew Brees makes a big announcement.
Will he be back for another season in the black and gold? That's coming up in sports.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Good afternoon, I'm Dan Carnez and I'm here with PAC Sports. Saints fans celebrate after Drew Brees announced his decision to return for his 14th season with the Saints via Instagram. Brees' decision comes as no surprise. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reported in January the 19-year veteran wanted to sign a new deal and would not retire even if the Saints won the Super Bowl. ESPN officials have unofficial reports that backup quarterback Teddy Bridgewater will now return with the Saints for another year. A heartbreaking loss leads to a life-saving discovery for the Brother Martin head football coach. I got the chance to speak with Coach Mark Bonis to discuss why he's still standing today. The day before their 2019 semifinal playoff game, Brother Martin head football coach Mark Bonis had a life-threatening scare, but he and his coaching staff thought everything was fine.
I saw Coach later that day, and he said, I'm a little uncomfortable, but I'm going to be okay. So we thought problem solved at that point.
Coach Bonis ended up causing a tear in his body's main artery after moving an ice chest to his car, but thought it was nothing serious.
It was lower back pain. I've coached with things a lot worse.
The Crusaders ended up losing the state semifinal to Rummel 37-27, but little did Coach Bonis know the playoff loss would end up being the event that saved his life. If Bonis didn't decide to go to the doctor, the playoff game would have been the last time he coached on this very field.
For me, the goal would have been to go coach and go win, a state championship football game.
Bonis' colleagues believe everything happens for a reason.
What an amazing blessing it is that we lost, because knowing Coach Bonis like I do, I know he would have pushed hard through all the symptoms that he ended up having, and it could have been a disastrous result.
Coach Bonis does not want to lose any game, much more a playoff game leading to the state championship, but he knows deep down it was a godsend.
In the end, although we were heartbroken that we lost our semifinal football game, for me it was definitely a blessing in disguise, because if we would have won that game, I wouldn't be standing here today.
Coach Bonis is back to coaching full-time and says he hopes to lead the Crusaders back to competing for a state championship. In NASCAR news, Danny Hamlin won the Daytona 500, which took 2 days to complete due to bad weather. But the race will be remembered for the dangerous wreck involving Ryan Newman on the final lap. The crash occurred when driver Ryan Blaney nudged Newman's car ahead of Hamlin on the backstretch, but extra contact forced Newman to spin out as his car flung violently into the wall, landing on its roof and skidding across the track. Newman was taken to Halifax Medical Center for immediate medical attention. Newman's team has only said in a statement so far that doctors indicated that the driver's injuries are not life-threatening. Over the weekend, the NBA All-Star Game tipped off in Chicago with Team LeBron facing off against Team Giannis. Team LeBron defeated Team Giannis 157-155, with Kawhi Leonard taking home the Kobe Bryant MVP award, scoring 30 points. Brandon Ingram represented the New Orleans Pelicans in his first NBA All-Star Game. Ingram only scored 2 points under a minute restriction after missing 3 games suffering a right ankle sprain. The Pelicans hope Ingram will be healthy come this Friday against the Portland Trailblazers. The Pels have their 4th easiest remaining schedule per NBA's Basketball Power Index as they make a push for the 8th seed in the playoffs. Whether or not the Pelicans make the playoffs the rest of the season will be an opportunity for their talented young core to develop chemistry. Rookie Zion Williamson will probably miss too many games to have a real Rookie of the Year award chance after only playing 10 games halfway through the NBA season. But he's off to a historically dominant start since making his delayed debut, averaging 22 points and 7 rebounds per game. The Pelicans go on the road to face against the Portland Trailblazers this Friday. In college basketball, the LSU Tigers are looking to move back into a tie for the #1 spot in the Southeastern Conference when they host 10th-ranked Kentucky tonight in the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. LSU officials are urging fans to arrive early and purchase tickets ahead of the game due to the limited number of tickets available. The Tigers are 18-7 and 9-3 in SEC play, tied with Auburn and only 1 game back of the leader Kentucky at 10-2. Tip-off is set to start at 8 p.m. Fans can watch the game on ESPN.
I, for one, cannot wait for Drew Brees to come back and run it back and go for that another Super Bowl run.
I know, I'm excited. I grew up in New Orleans when the Super Bowl happened. I want to see it again, and Drew Brees is my guy. I hope he's the one to bring it home for us this last time.
I think this is the final chance to get 1 more year to get a Super Bowl.
I'm very excited. Thank you so much.
Looking forward to it.
One crew is making trash collecting and recycling fun this Mardi Gras season. See where to catch the trash formers coming up.
From the start of carnival season, tons of waste is collected from the streets, leaving lots of trash left behind and unrecycled. Autumn Saduki tells us about one group who is trying to help keep the waste under control.
One can at a time, this group called the Trash Formers are recycling waste, not after, but during the Mardi Gras parades.
The best way to recycle at a parade is to be in the parade, and then that way you are taking stuff from the people. You have the ability to take stuff interactively from the crowd.
Their technique is to collect trash with shopping carts and even a P-row.
During the parade, the Trash Formers encourage people to throw away their water bottles and plastic cans.
The group collects 30 to 40 gallon bags full of recycling items. This is just a small amount of trash that carnival season brings. The Trash Formers want to educate the parade goers on proper recycling procedures. Like this year, go-go cups made out of number 5 plastic cannot be recycled because of new laws.
We have to tell people we can only take cans and number 1, number 2 plastic bottles, and in a way that's almost like it kind of teaches people about the current state of recycling in New Orleans.
All 20-plus members have a special place in their heart for the New Orleans environment.
This is not something that we're wagging our fingers at people, but we're helping people to come in and be a part of the solution.
The Trash Formers hope they turn Mardi Gras a little more green. Anand Siddiqui, PAC News.
The Trash Formers march in Crude Illusion and the Red Bean Parade. Thanks for watching PAC News.
Have a great day.